Baby chokes on popular snack, then dad sees something he never noticed. Canadian dad Justin Morris was feeding his sweet baby girl a snack in her high chair one day, a treat that she ate often. Even though it was one of her favorite treats, the snack turned deadly within seconds. Now Justin is sharing an urgent warning after his daughter almost choked to death on this popular baby snack. Justin posted on Facebook what happened to his daughter Annabelle in the hopes of preventing it from happening to anyone else. He said he was still shaking as he wrote the post, the experience was so frightening. His warning was to all parents of young children to always read the labels on food containers. If he had, it might have spared his daughter from her brush with death. When his baby had finished eating her first snack, he set out a few Gerber Lil Crunchies on her tray, which are mini cheese puffs for babies. He turned around to rinse her bowl in the sink, turned back and saw Annabelle gasping for air. Justin posted that he had his back to her for maybe 10 seconds. He sprung into action to save his darling daughter who was choking to death on the cheese snack. She was trying to cry but no sound was coming out. I rushed over and picked her up and turned her over and slapped her back, as we were taught, for what seemed like forever. I still could not hear anything. I flipped her over and her lips had turned blue and she was still trying to cry. The nightmare continued. Justin flipped Annabelle face down again, administering the Heimlich maneuver on her, but it wasn't working. He turned her over and her lips were an even darker shade of blue. He realized she was going to die in his arms if he didn't do something else. I panicked and did the only thing I could think of. I ran my finger into her mouth and down her throat and was able to squish the cheesy enough that the next thing I heard was the sweetest sound in the world, her crying. That meant Annabelle was breathing in some air, but she wasn't in the clear just yet. Justin wrote that he turned her over again and between him hitting her back and her crying, the wedged Lil Crunchie came loose and he swept it out of her mouth with his finger. He was so relieved, yet still so shook up. He couldn't believe what had just happened. It was the longest and scariest minute of my life. I called my mom over just to help calm me down and Annabelle. Justin could not figure out how his little girl had eaten this snack a few days before without choking or experiencing any trouble. His mom looked over the can and found a warning on the side that the contents of the can should be discarded after 5 days of opening the container. So Justin opened a new container and compared it to the one he'd opened a few days ago. He said the difference between the Lil Crunchies was astounding. The ones in the can she choked on I can only describe to be like a foam earplug. I could squish it but it would expand back out and would not break apart. The ones in the new can crumbled with ease. After sharing his experience on Facebook with other parents, the response and feedback have been incredible. His post has been shared almost 80,000 times. Justin was quick to point out that his post wasn't intended to degrade Gerber, but rather remind parents like himself to look for and read warning labels. Justin said parents can get lazy as things become routine, but his daughter Annabelle almost died because of it. He wanted parents to know that with just a few days, the Lil Crunchies that are so popular among wee ones can turn deadly. How scary! How scary!